Well, hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all had a lovely weekend out there. I had a nice, relaxing weekend here. It's overcast, a little bit chilly, so just lazed around the house. Got caught up on a little work that I needed to do last week, and yeah, just had a nice weekend. Today I want to talk about how to channel your anxiety. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd go down there and hit that subscribe button below and come back and check out some more of my content. Make sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so they'll keep you up to date when something new comes out. And welcome to all the new people that are telling me they came over from Instagram. I really appreciate that. I went down to Pensacola on Saturday and I was listening to a podcast. Listen, when I reference a podcast, I listen to podcasts all the time. I live by myself. I need a little noise in the background. So basically, I got podcasts going all the time. So I can't necessarily reference. And that's usually, if it's ever the point of it, I will reference it. But every time I say I was listening to a podcast, somebody goes, "What podcast were you listening to?" I catch a lot of interesting people in places that you might not think of. It does my mood very good. I listen to a lot of stand-up comedians, their podcast, and their podcast is not stand-up comedy. They have some real interesting guests on there. So I'm listening to this stand-up comedian I recently found, Pete Holmes, and he had Stephen Colbert on there the other day. And Stephen Colbert just said something that hit me just like that. He started talking about channeling anxiety, redirecting anxiety into productivity. And man, something about that just resonated. It wasn't so much like he didn't follow up on that a lot. It just sparked something. And when I got back home that day, I did a few searches, did a couple of readings, and I found one that was really good. And I thought I would share that with you because, you know, we can all probably use some help dealing with anxiety from time to time, because what I'm starting to find out, I was trying to suppress it for a while. It's normal, you know, anything we suppress is not a good thing. You deal with it. Anyhow, I'll put a link to this article in the description below. How to channel your anxiety to productivity. Have you ever been anxious about anything or a situation before? I'm sure your answer is yes. Everyone has been anxious one time or the other. Anxiety is a normal reaction wherein you feel a sense of uneasiness, apprehension, uncertainty, or fear about something. The feeling of anxiety can be quite overwhelming and tends to throw one off balance. Had one of those where it split the page up. Sorry about that. The feeling of anxiety can be quite overwhelming and tends to throw one off balance. Just like every other emotion, anxiety has a purpose: to protect you and keep you out of harm's way by motivating you to take some kind of action. Anxiety can become a problem when it begins to interfere with your relationships, work, academics, hobbies, and other important areas of life, i.e. physically, cognitively, emotionally, and behaviorally. There are a few symptoms of anxiety such as trembling, inability to concentrate, muscle tension, a fast heart rate, restlessness, headache, sweating, flooded thoughts, and nausea. Well, I'd forgotten about that part. I don't have many of those symptoms, so I don't have it too bad when I do have it. When the symptoms are excessive, you may develop certain anxious conditions such as phobias, social anxiety, or panic. Jeffrey McGinnis, co-founder of Calm by Wellness and serial entrepreneur, said, "Anxiety is growing at an alarming rate. Much of it has been caused by the hyper-reality of social media. Having people being mindfully aware of their situation and what makes them happy is at the core of mental health. With the latest advancements in life science research, people can try new solutions to be their best self, everything from meditation apps and hot yoga to CBD oil and biohacking." Also, Brene Brown, another one of my favorite authors, shares, "If you trade your authenticity for safety, you may experience the following: anxiety, depression, eating disorders, addiction, rage, blame, resentment, and inexplicable grief. I'll take authenticity. How about you?" Certain drugs have been prescribed to relieve anxiety, but the major one which has gained much attention is CBD due to active wellness nature, as said by Global Wellness Summit. This is because CBD has been proven to counteract many of THC adverse effects. Don't know about those THC adverse effects. A right proportion of CBD administered appropriately is capable of treating a number of anxiety disorders ranging from panic disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, generalized anxiety disorder. Productivity versus anxiety. Productivity isn't just about checking boxes off your to-do list. It's about making sure you're getting the right things done in the right time frame in a successful and effective way. Having a good productivity system in order and an effective workflow you enjoy is valuable not only for your work and also for your personal life. It starts by setting realistic goals, breaking those goals down into actionable tasks, and at the end of it all, asking yourself, did I accomplish something meaningful with a measurable impact from what I set out to do? One major reason why people are being less productive is the anxiety feeling. It dampens your morale to knock off your to-do list. However, anxiety can hinder productivity if not well channeled. People need to leverage on their anxiety so as to attain maximum productivity in their daily living. How? Accept that anxiety is inevitable. Being anxious is part of living. It is that moment that helps you realize that you're in a situation or there is a situation greater than you and out of your control. Everyone loves to be in control of happenings around and within their lives, but we just always can't. The more you view anxiety as normal, the less power it can have over you. Even successful people experience fear. They just choose to find a way to persevere in spite of it. Always keep in mind that anxiety and fear are natural reactions. Being able to choose and focus on the task in front of you rather than the fear related to it will give you an edge. Undress your anxiety. Disarm your anxiety by asking yourself what it is you are truly afraid of. What could be the worst possible outcome, and what are the odds of that actually happening? At this point, you realize that even the worst outcome isn't as bad as it may seem in your head. Your anxiety begins to decrease when you can make this detailed analysis. Channel the anxiety into motivation. Let's assume you have to complete a project by the end of the week. As the date comes closer, you may begin to stress out because the project is not finished. While no one enjoys that feeling of being behind, the pressure of the looming due date can motivate you to act fast and dedicate all of your attention to getting it done. In other words, a little bit of stress can push you to meet your deadlines and goals quicker and with greater focus. Anxiety often results from some sort of apprehension about the future. Perhaps you're worried about the outcome of something you really care about. Remind yourself why it matters to you in the first place and let that drive you forward. Anxiety has the ability to make you more alert, focused, and productive, and you have the ability to use that to your advantage. Distinguish between productive worry and unproductive worry. Anxiety can either be productive or unproductive. Unproductive anxiety usually materializes to worrying about things that are out of your control and may lead to an anxiety attack. If you can't do anything to change the situation, stop wasting your time and energy by worrying about it. Leave it. On the other hand, productive anxiety generally amounts to worrying about things you actually have the power to change. Verbal reverse psychology. Anxiety is the body's natural response to stress. Once you accept that anxiety is inevitable, you can learn how to work with it instead of against it. A research study conducted at Allison Wood Brooks, a professor at Harvard University Business School who has studied the phenomenon, concluded by urging people to say, "I am excited," in place of "I am nervous," out loud, can improve performance. In order to increase anxiety levels during the study, Dr. Allison Woods Brooks told students their persuasive speeches would be recorded. Before delivering the speech, students were instructed to say, "I am excited," or "I am calm," out loud to themselves. Those who said "I am excited" gave longer speeches that were more competent, relaxed, and persuasive than those who said "I am calm." Because anxiety and excitement are both emotional states characterized by high arousal, Dr. Woods suggests it may be easier to reframe symptoms of anxiety as excitement rather than trying to be calm. When you're feeling anxious, you often focus on potential threats. In these situations, it is more productive to try to reframe the situation and focus on potential opportunities instead of threats. Do a mind dump. Grab a notebook and jot down your worries. Writing down those things can be cathartic. It sounds simple, right? This exercise of writing everything down in a mind dump gives you a platform to pour out whatever has been bottled up inside you. Then you can begin to develop a new perspective and come up with a workable game plan. Conclusion: whether you like it or not, anxiety and stress are unavoidable. 72% of people who experience stress and anxiety daily say it impacts their lives at least moderately. Lives are being affected by both every passing moment, considering that stress affects 7 different body systems. Building on the foundation of animal studies, human studies are starting to provide evidence to demonstrate that CBD can improve many commonly reported anxiety disorder symptoms, including acute stress and anxiety. Brazilian researchers from a small double-blind study of patients afflicted with generalized social anxiety and another set of researchers in another small study concluded CBD significantly reduced anxiety, cognitive impairment, and discomfort in their speech performance, thereby increasing productivity. That was a good one. Learned a lot of things in there. Got a lot of good thought on that. Like I say, I've just been, once I became aware of my anxiety and stopped trying to say, oh no, I don't have anxiety. I may have anxiety. I'm about to get anxiety, and just realizing I had it and starting to deal with it, that was like major right there. So anyhow, hope you can use some of that. Like I say, I'm going to put the link in the description below because, when you read these, it's hard to take it all in. Go back and read that one again. It's got some good stuff in it. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys again in a few days. Peace.